Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second Topic Hash podcast, where we are going to talk about what, fiatjaf?
About things miners do to get money.
Ah,
Is that no? I think it was fee sniping, right? But I thought that was a better idea.
I don't know. I don't know. So
You shouldn't include me in this introduction.
yes, but you were the one with the topic. So
No. The topic came from the last show, which happened yesterday.
No, you talked about stacks, and I don't know what something.
No. The first thing was that fee sniping stuff from the pseudo PayPal fee of.
Okay,
20
yeah,
Bitcoin or
okay. We're
something.
just gonna talk about the PayPal fee sniping stuff, thingy. Then, okay, that's fine. We can talk about miners being on OnlyFans later.
I think it's the same topic. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the same topic because it
Via
involves.
Jeff, it's all the fucking same topic. It's all Bitcoin, right?
No, because it is.
Oh, okay.
Miners have to, they need to write some software that gives them money, and they must be aware of things instead of just hashing naively. They must be aware of things that are happening in order to act on them. Like this fee sniping issue, for example, they didn't do the fee sniping maybe because their software is not aware of it.
Yes.
And I wonder what will happen if I make anyone can spend output. Would they spend it to themselves? And what would that output have to look like for them to detect that they can spend to themselves?
Yeah, those are good questions. I think there are people lurking the blockchain. That I know, because they analyze on the type of transactions going on and that type of stuff. So I'm convinced that the moment you make an anyone can spend transaction, somebody's going to pick up on it. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a miner, but somebody's going to pick up on it pretty damn quickly. I'm sure.
Even if it's a giant script
It's just a fake script.
with a bunch of
It's this immensely convoluted script that just always ends on true. It's just
No, what if there's a hash check in the middle of the script, and anyone who can provide the hash can spend it, and then you post the solution to that hash, the pre-image, somewhere else. You publish on Nostr.
But you never. But do you explicitly mention it's in relation to that transaction? Because then it's
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
right? But then it's easy.
Uh,
They don't have to look on chain. They look at they go off the fact that you did that Nostr post.
Well, but would they? Who today, is there anyone doing that? Listening to all the Nostr posts and looking for posts that mention a hash in a Bitcoin transaction, and then that same person already has the software running ready to snipe that transaction.
Okay. Oh wait. So you mean you just use a brand new public key
Yeah,
You-
maybe.
with no connection? You just make this standalone Nostr post.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone, even if I use my own pub key or something, maybe someone would do it manually. But, and then would these people write software to do that automatically later?
Hmm.
And then the next time I publish on Twitter instead of Nostr. Just to force them to do it manually.
Let's see which group is faster, the Nostr people or the Twitter people. What is it we're actually discussing right now? So to what extent do miners have, or I guess technically you should say block composers. So how complicated or sophisticated is the block composition software?
If you use op, nop, or 5.3, I don't know, one of these opcodes, they're non-standard, so normal people can't use it. But miners can, because miners can include anything, right?
Yes, but
so if you do anyone can spend with that, only a miner would be able to spend it.
Well, so wait, so you mean the transaction won't be routed?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, but then the thing would be is like, even if you were to create the transaction and you were to directly send it to the miner, because with the miner, because at that point
you would have to manually talk to a miner, right? You have to say, "Hello, miner. Here's the transaction. It's paying me a lot of." You
can use the service. They have services right now, right? So you can use the service of directly sending a transaction to the miner. The question then becomes: is the miner paying attention? Is he just going to include your transaction, or he's going to look at that transaction and it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I can do this myself. I don't know. All right. These are interesting. I do think these are interesting questions. But so the actual topic of the question, the actual topic is like, how sophisticated is the block composing software right now? Something like that?
Well, I think the answer is that it's not sophisticated at all. But I wonder if it would become. 1 second for the race.
That was a bird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a small eagle that lives here.
I did last time. Like, we need an editor because last time I edited a different picture when the truck came past, and I like that idea.
Pictures?
Yes.
Do you put pictures?
Yes.
I never watched these things.
Yes.
Do you put StarCraft games?
I haven't in a while. Somebody actually commented about that. Not the previous show, but the one before that. There is a YouTube comment.
Yeah, we need a separate show where we just comment a StarCraft game, and then people can watch that and be delighted. Okay, back to the topic. I was saying that maybe today the miners don't have these things ready, so that's why they didn't try to reorg to get the PayPal transaction. But if this happens again, maybe they will be prepared next time. And at the same time, like that Binance hack, that the Binance guy offered some payment, or he didn't really offer, but he could, and then maybe miners would have an automated thing where anyone can offer. I don't know.
So they already are offering direct payments for including transactions, right?
Yeah, but in that case, it would be for a reorg.
Yeah. So,
like the Binance had a bunch of Bitcoins, and then someone stole the coins, and then Binance could sign a transaction paying from that UTXO that got stolen from to the miners, and then miners would reorg the chain so they could get these coins and not the thief.
The thing is, it's like reorging is fairly tricky, right? It's not straightforward.
Well, if you can coordinate with a bunch of pools.
Yes, but that's the point. So first we have like, okay, can we coordinate? And then we have like, okay, if you are in the process of doing the reorg, when are you going to let go?
Yes.
You get this sunk cost fallacy thing going. It's like, okay, we are in the middle of the reorg, but we're not actually sure we're going to make it. And then when's that cutoff point where you then decides like, okay, I'm gonna stop this and just continue doing the normal mining?
Well, another question for the smart people to decide.
Well, there have been papers written on this, at least on a rudimentary level. People have thought about this, but there's also some discussion as to what the validity of those papers actually are, and if their math or their game theory is actually correct, etc. It's not easy, but I think aside from the yeah, I don't know.
Okay, but so what about the anyone can spend stuff. So I wanted to mention the stacks thing.
Yes.
They do something interesting there. There this stacks.
No, I don't know. That's
why that stacks exist. It's a blockchain, a shitcoin.
No, I don't know. What is it? Is it the?
Remember Blockstack?
Is it the Coinbase thing?
No, it's not Bitcoin based. It's a shitcoin made by the people who made Blockstack, which you should remember because it's a thing that existed for many years, since like 2013 or something.
A Bitcoin layer for smart contracts.
Stacks. Yeah, that's their deceiving marketing. It's not a Bitcoin layer; it's a shitcoin, and you can buy these scammy STX tokens, and then you stake them somehow. You put them on a harbor inside the Stacks blockchain, and then the mining process works by other people paying you fees on the Bitcoin chain. They make you a transaction paying fees to all the people that are staking their STX tokens, and then they get to decide what's the next XTX block, and then they mine the XTX block, the Stacks block, and they get STX rewards. Do you get it?
No.
No, you don't get it.
No.
I want to mine a block on Stacks because if I mine it, I gain, like I earn more
what
STX
the fuck
tokens.
Is Stacks? Okay.
It's a shitcoin. It has a shitcoin token called STX, and it's a blockchain with blocks in transactions.
Okay, how is this related to the topic? Because I thought that this was going to be the topic.
It's related. It's related to the topic. Okay. You must understand what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm trying to pay attention, but you're...
Okay.
But your Brazilian articulation, though, so I'm kidding. Okay, so there's a shitcoin with XTX tokens. Okay, continue.
You got that.
Yes.
That's what you got from all the things I said.
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you mine a block on the shitcoin, on the shit chain?
Tell me.
You have to pay satoshis to the people that have STX tokens staked. So I have STX tokens, and I put them.
So the XTX chain keeps track of the Bitcoin chain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then the person who wants to mine a block, they have to pay me because I hold STX tokens in stake.
It's defined. So there are public keys defined within the XTX stake that are used on Bitcoin.
I assume yes. And then you make a transaction on Bitcoin, and the STX nodes, they verify that transaction is paying the correct STX stakers.
Mm-hmm.
And then that block is valid on the STX chain. And then the person who mined that block, they get more STX tokens.
Okay.
So supposedly, it's a good investment to buy the STX token because you get satoshis.
And XTX tokens. So you
don't get STX tokens. You just get the satoshis.
No, you said the block is valid, so you get more XTX tokens. There are two roles. One is the person who has the STX tokens. They stake it. Yeah.
And the other person is the person who creates the blocks.
Ah, okay.
The person who creates the blocks pays satoshis.
Those are not necessarily the same people, but they could be the same people.
Yeah, they probably won't be the same people.
Yes, because that's what I was thinking. But okay, yes, okay. Yes.
So in theory, it's very very cool idea. You get this, and then they do like whoever pays more to the Bitcoin people, whoever pays more satoshis gets to mine the STX block.
So you can get fucked within a single block. Is that in a single block necessarily? So there are like multiple payment attempts in a single block, and then they pick the highest one.
Yes.
Okay. I guess that's that's more of a technical thing than an incentive thing, but okay. Because you need a way to make a decision if there are like 2 payment attempts within a
block. Let's ignore that part. I think they must have some system to prevent 2 blocks. Yeah.
Yes.
But what happens is that the idea is that people would compete such that the Satoshi they're paying is almost the same as the STX they're getting for it. So the people who are earning more are the STX holders that are earning a lot of Satoshis. And the actual people making the blocks, they don't profit a lot. Like in theory, they would profit a very small amount because they're paying almost all their rewards.
Yeah, so this is basic economics, like marginal cost and
marginal they would compete, and then the price, the amount of Satoshi they're paying would increase.
Yes.
So
that trends towards 0. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but what happened is that F2Pool decided to censor all the transactions, and then they only allowed their own transaction to go through, and they pay the smallest possible amount.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But that's the only pool doing this, and they get a lot of STX.
Okay. So in terms of like the sophistication of the block composition. Okay, I see. Yes. Okay. Now I get it. I'm here. I see. Yes, okay. I mean that's the reason why all this shit. I mean, this is like the same thing as the MEV stuff, right?
I don't know. I think all the things we're talking about is qualify as MEV, right?
What do you mean, all the things?
Oh, the fee snapping stuff, the reorgs, the
no.
Anyone can pay.
No. It's specifically that you are running a game, right, or running a system or whatever, and
you can
there are state
win
changes
on that game because you're making the block.
Yes, but there are state changes within the game, right? Because otherwise there's no game, it's just standing still. And in order to coordinate those state changes in a decentralized manner, you gonna need like miners and stuff, right? Because otherwise it's just centralized, and why you're doing on a blockchain, you can just do a server and whatever. Yeah. And the whole point is that if you are running a game, then there are like 2 tiers of participants within the game. You have the miners who have a privileged position within the game, and then you have the other participants like the blobs that aren't mining. So it's skewed. It's skewed towards an advantage of the miner because they can do whatever they want between each state transitions, right? Because they can dictate what the state transition is going to look like. And they can fuck you as a normal player. They can fuck you over. That's the same thing with what we discussed early a long time ago with the domain names. It's like if it depends on miners, then miners are just you come up with a very great domain name, then the miner is going to be like, well, that's a nice domain name. apparently there's demand for this domain name, so I'm just gonna make this domain name and you can buy it from me.
Yeah.
Or you have like an exchange or something. It's like, oh, apparently there is the trend that somebody wants to do a buy offer or sell or whatever, so I'm going to front run them. That's you cannot get around this stuff, right? It's the inherent flaw of all this shit. So yeah.
Yeah. But the question is, why is F2Pool sophisticated enough to have this thing implemented? Like,
and
they
the
have
others
to have
aren't.
custom software to detect the STX shenanigans, and they have to include their own. They have to run an FTX node, a STX node, and then they have to do something with the STX they earn.
Well, is it like, to what extent are people aware? To what extent is it worth it? To what extent is it like, how do they prioritize it in relation to the extent of it that it's worth it? I mean, then there is imperfection.
Yeah. What if the other miners or the other STX miners decide to pay high fees? on their attempts to mine an STX block, they would pay high fees, and then maybe it becomes more profitable for F2Pool to allow them to include their transactions instead of censoring.
But then they would have to participate within XTX, right?
They are already participating, but they are, because they are including their own. They are mining STX blocks.
Right. Yes, you're right. Okay, I see. Yes. Is it used for it? Are people using this shit? Why are people so fucking stupid? It's so fucking frustrating. Why people are in this?
That's another episode.
Okay, yes, that's true. Why does all this fucking bullshit exist? Fucking Christ. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We should get a pool guy or a bunch of pool guys, invite them and talk about this stuff. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
To what extent will the Stratum V2 stuff impact this? In the sense that miners can create their own blocks, template thingies.
I think there's some people could say that the miners wouldn't want to mine their own blocks, create their own blocks, because the mining pools would have all this MEV, like all these things prepared to earn more. And
right, that's the reason why I'm asking. Yeah,
naive. But on the other hand, you could have like just hobbyists or small mining facilities doing fancy stuff that no one else realized was possible, and then everybody else copies them. So I don't know. Yeah, but everybody copies there, and then everybody starts using the mining pool blocks again.
Yes, but the thing is that there's no incentive to open source all this, right?
Yeah, but they could see it happening on the chain.
Yes, but then they will still have to spend the development resources in order to build it.
Yeah, that could be trivial in many cases. Like if you have a framework for describing the kind of shenanigan you want to do in the block, then maybe it's trivial to add more. Okay, end of the episode.